And we are live.
Woo!
So StreamYard just added a setting to where you can record each audio track separately for everyone in your stream. So if someone forgets to record, like I almost did, it'll be backed up on StreamYard.
Oh yeah, that should be recording right now, huh?
So we're just going to hang out for a bit, wait for some people to show up, because why not? This is not a normal episode of Four Brewers. This is fresh off the shelf.
But how's it different? It's just you guys talking about beer.
Yeah, exactly. It's different because it's not going to be as public, I guess. Okay, so these Firestone beers. Elena is part of the Propagator series, which I think Wookie Jack was also part of that series. Let me check here. Yes, it was. And Elena is malted oats for silky mouthfeel, blah, blah, blah. New Zealand Nelson Sauvin hops.
This is the audience when we explain how this is different.
I'm going to try to explain it. So
I don't fully understand it, but it's okay.
I'll explain it. All right. I don't care if there's no people here. We're going to start.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Okay. Welcome to Fresh Off the Shelf. This is a show that it's a new thing for Four Brewers, but it's also the same thing at the same time as Four Brewers, except it's only going to be two people from the show. So it's probably, for the most part, going to be Jason and myself. And
mini episode.
Mini. And yeah, the idea behind this is Jason started this show 2 or 3 years ago. He recorded like 3 episodes for YouTube because he thought he might dabble in doing his own beer thing on YouTube. And that kind of fizzled out. Didn't want to do it. It's a lot of work to do video and stuff. And it's, you know, for some, it's just not worth the time and effort. And so I liked the idea. And those shows were actually pretty popular on our YouTube channel. People liked him. People like Jason overall because, like, he's a good podcaster and a good YouTube dude. You know, it's a pain in the ass. They actually did good with numbers, and if you can go look at the videos now, they do better than anything I put up myself.
I won't.
So my idea was we'll bring this back and just do some mini episodes. You know, it could be a fresh beer that, you know, it's called Fresh Off the Shelf. So Jason's original idea was pick up something super fresh on a Friday night, you know, ending the week, record a show, throw it up on YouTube, and that, you know, that would be that. It's kind of difficult to get super fresh beer all the time. I mean, it's not kind of difficult. If you're doing it on like a weekly basis, it'd be difficult. We're going to do it maybe twice a month. So it might be more feasible to find super fresh stuff. But if we can't find something super fresh, then we'll find something that's super fresh from a brewery as far as a release goes. So in this case, we're doing 2 beers from Firestone Walker Brewing Company. One is Elena and the other one is Gen 5, both part of their Propagator series. So these are fresh beers to us. These are new beers to us. While they might be around a month and a half old, you know, they're new to us. So that's the idea for the show. The other part of this is, I don't know how we're going to do it yet. Obviously, we're doing this streaming and this is open to the public, but this is part of these shows are going to be exclusive to Patreon only. So if we do like 2 a month where we do 2 shows, you know, per session per month, that's 4 shows a month. I'm thinking we might do 2 to the public and then 2 just to Patreon, because it's also fun to stream shows, and it's a nice gap fill if all the guys can't be here to do a show. Not that we couldn't do a full show without everyone, but I've got such a backlog because I have been sitting on my hands that doing a full show today with just Jason and I, since Tim and Greg can't make it, isn't quite feasible. So why not do this? So that's the idea for the show. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, it sounds fun.
It's basically 4 Brewers Light. So, like I said, we're going to start with a beer from Firestone Walker. This beer is called Elena. It's part of their Propagator series, like I just said. It's brewed at the Propagator. The Propagator for Firestone is located in Venice in Southern California. And it's brewed with a high portion of malted oats for a silky mouthfeel and heavily dry hopped with New Zealand Nelson Sauvin hops. So we're going to get some like tropical fruit notes on this and whatever else we can find.
The can for this beer looks like a magical storybook. It's like looks like a hobbit house. There's all sorts of cool forests and weird stuff like that.
Yeah,
Fun.
It looks similar to the Wookiee Jack can, right? Like the Wookiee Jack can.
I never got one of those.
Oh, the Wookiee Jack can had like a wizard on it. It's the same aesthetic. It looks kind of like a 70s concert poster kind of vibe on the artwork. And I think this is probably the same artist that they used for Wookiee Jack, because it looks exactly like in that vein.
It's cool. Keep it up. I like that I like the art style. So maybe is it just for their Propagator series, or they're doing just a couple of them that just so happen to be the...
I think it's just a couple, because we're also doing Gen 5, which is also part of their Propagator series, and it doesn't look anything like this. So
okay. Yeah, the other can is totally different.
That's Gen 5 right there. So it's just for special. I mean, it can't be cheap to pay an artist to do that for every single can. Although they could probably afford it. I don't think they're going to do that. So.
This beer is thick.
It is.
It's not quite as milky as it looks on camera, but it's not that exaggerated.
Yeah, it's very, very, very hazy, to the point of looking like silicone. Yeah, this reminds me of like early days hazy brews from SoCal.
Yeah,
they didn't know what they were
skeptical.
Doing. It's Firestone Walker. I think they know what they're doing, though.
It does smell very good, though. A nice, like citrusy, like kind of sweet aroma.
Yeah,
it smells sticky.
You get that kind of oaty smell. Very light on the vanilla cake batter vibe. But it smells like almost like oatmeal, kind of like that's how oaty it smells to me. With that nice kick of kind of sharp tropical aromas, a little bit of like white grape character on there. It smells really good. It smells very refreshing to me, anyway.
So this beer is kind of a throw to the hazy IPA that a little bit has fallen by the wayside, like your treehouse style, like juicy. Remember, like I feel like hazy IPA was very big on like, bro, it's #juice. And then they started putting literal juice in it, and now people don't really want their hazies to be #juice.
Yeah, juice or just literal fruit, and you make your own juice when it explodes in the can, like kind of thing.
But this is very much like it honestly reminds me a lot of like Julius, like Treehouse Julius.
I haven't had Julius enough to use that as a reference, but I believe you. Yeah. It has that I has that, early days. Wow. I just tried this really awesome hazy IPA from Treehouse vibe, where everything we had locally was kind of that burn the back of your throat, hop burn, kind of really kind of acidic thing happening that just wasn't right.
Like, I mean, even compared to the namesake, right? Like an Orange Julius, it really is just kind of a creamy orange drink. Does
it come off as creamy as it looks to you?
Yes.
Okay.
This I feel like this mouthfeel is what Dogfish was going for with that fucking oatstrosity that they made.
The hazy-o, yeah.
This is what they were trying to hit, and it's really cool. Would I drink a ton of this beer? No. I think it's very good. I'm enjoying it, but it's definitely kind of you drink one and you've had enough.
Yeah, it's clocking in at 7.3% alcohol by volume as well. So it's kind of, it's a double IPA, or at least they call it an IPA on Untappd, but we're in that double IPA territory.
John, 7 is square down IPA barrel.
7 is?
Yeah, 8 is your cutoff for double, man.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was like above 6.5. Okay,
yeah,
I'm wrong.
Which, in fact, what's a fucking beer that went from an IPA to a double and back? Green Flash West Coast. It went from like 7.4 to like 8.2 and then back down to like 7 something. So it went from IPA to double to IPA.
Well, I apologize for my mistake.
That's right. It was an imperial mistake is what it was.
There you go. I like this overall. I don't get any of the negative vibes I usually get from bad hazy IPAs. Not that I'm expecting this to be a bad hazy IPA, but looking at it, you might think that you're in for something that's kind of not what you would like, because it is very, very hazy. Like to the point of looking like silicone.
It looks like it's going to be gritty in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not.
Yeah, overall, I think this is a great beer. They sent us these beers, by the way, so thank you, Firestone, for the beers. This beer was canned on 4/19/21, so it's just almost 2 months old, and I think it's holding up great. Like it's got all of the impact from the hops. Nothing smells like it's fallen off or tastes like it's fallen off. It's a great beer. So check it out.
So we can do a break between each one like that?
We can, and I'll put like a little thing in between if we do more than one beer on one of these. That's not a bad idea.
The beer's good, man. It's surprisingly good. It looked like it was going to be gross.
I agree. Okay, bringing it back. Okay, up next from Firestone Walker, we are drinking Gen 5. This is an 8.3% double IPA.
Now that you've learned that one.
Brewed to celebrate their 5th anniversary at the Propagator, Gen 5 is double dry hopped with Citra, Mosaic, Nelson, Rywaka, and Nectaron. I've never heard of Nectaron hops. For flavors of canned peach, blah, blah, blah. So let's try this out. That sounds very, very good on paper.
I'm getting deja vu here.
Uh-oh.
This
that looks
very
pretty thick.
murky. A lot like the last one we just tried. Looking at them side by side, they look almost identical.
Yeah, actually they do. Yeah. Yeah.
I still have. They're pretty. If you mix these up, I would be like, oh shit.
I do like how Firestone is going all in on hazies. Like they're not trying to, as far as their mass market beer, obviously like Mind Haze, that's a different take on hazy. Like it's a traditional style brewed in a way to kind of simulate a hazy, but at the Propagator, they're just straight up going for it, which I appreciate. This beer was also sent to us from Firestone Walker, and this was canned on 5/17/2021. So just under a month old.
So the nose on this one is immediately different than the last beer. It's a bit sharp. It's a bit brighter. It's a bit more kind of tropical, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. It comes off a little cooler on the nose, like kind of not minty, but that vibe. Not as like acidic, like fruity on the nose. Little grassy as well.
So this one, I think, kind of got a little bit of that grittiness that I was afraid of in the other beer. It's got a really good flavor. It's very fruity. It's very kind of it does have like a light kind of sticky tropical fruit flavor, but I don't know. It's very prickly on the tongue.
Yeah, I kind of get that grittiness. It's kind of something you can. It's not actual grit, but it's something you can like when you taste it. You almost feel like you can chew on it.
Yeah,
you can feel it on your teeth, kind of thing. This is coming off more like you brought up that Dogfish beer Hazio. It's coming off more malty, I think, than like fruity and hoppy on the flavor. I'm getting a bigger mouthfeel, a bigger like malt presence on it. It's not necessarily bad or off-putting. It's not what I expected though, considering it was, double dry hopped with Citra, Mosaic, Nelson, Rawaka, and Nectaron. So
Yeah, it's I get a little bit of the alcohol heat too, being a double. But I think the Atlanta is just kind of the same concept done better. Less alcohol does better. The hop choices kind of work better. I mean, that one I think is just Nelson, right?
yeah, it is just Nelson 7 hops.
Yeah.
I don't get alcohol on it, on the flavor. I get the sweetness, I think, from the alcohol. That kind of lingers a little bit. It kind of tastes like candy a little bit to me.
Yeah.
I did get more grass on the nose, and I'm not getting that on the flavor. That kind of green character. Overall, though, I would agree. I think the Elena is better, but they're very similar, right? Like if you had these side by side, it'd kind of be difficult to, choose which one to get. It's like if you asked for Elena and they brought you this, you might not know they brought you the wrong beer, because it's so close.
Well, that's kind of the hazy IPA curse, right?
Yeah.
They all tend to blend together a little bit.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out for this first episode of Fresh Off the Shelf. Again, this one's going to be available to the public, and as well as the next
mini-sode,
as well as the next episode we're doing, which are beers from Highland Park Brewery that Jason just picked up yesterday, right?
Yep.
So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you on the next episode. All right. You can just keep recording. I'll separate it all.
All right.
What do you want to do from Highland Park?
If we're doing 2, Crossbow and Hello LA.
All right. Oh, these are super fresh. 6.4 and 6.11. Nice. Do you want to start with, let's see, Crossbow?
Yeah. Crossbow, Stills, and Nash. All right. Do I have info on this one?
On Untapped, it says it's a Pilsner made in collaboration with their hop farmers, their hop farm homies, Crosby Hop Farms. And it's made with Crosby Saphir, Strata, and Idaho 7.
Sweet. Looking on their release, it didn't say Saphir, but we'll see. Not like I'm going to know. So I'm like, we'll see. I'll find out.
Yeah. I don't get the Saphir in this beer at all. They didn't use it.
Well, all right.
Welcome to yet another episode of Fresh Off the Shelf with your friends, Jason and John. How you doing, Jason?
Woo! Oh, it's Saturday. That's all.
Jason brought up the idea of us possibly going back to breweries to do guerrilla shows, which now that California is going to be wide open on June 15th, we can just go hog wild.
Open her up.
Which I should also say our Roadcaster that we usually have to plug into a wall, they came out with a battery adapter for it. So I can just use USB battery for it. So we can go anywhere we want.
Oh, dude, that rules.
So next level shit.
Take, a 20,000 milliamp battery pack. Probably have one.
Yeah, I don't know how long it lasts. I think the biggest one I have is a 10,000 milliamp battery
They're
pack.
cheap, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we're going to, the longest I think we've ever recorded on location between the two of us is like a half hour, and I think it would last that long. So It'd be perfect for a place like Highland Park, which is where we're drinking beers from today, because they have like this really awesome outdoor area. Are they doing indoor stuff too there? Because you were there on Friday.
Yeah, it's very distant still. They're very strict on their COVID stuff still. Which I gave them a shout out about, because they've been really good about it. They've been like a leader in safety in the LA area. But yeah, they have limited indoor seating. Nothing at the bar or anything, but there's a couple tables that are spaced out.
Yeah, you said in the private chat that you ran into Bob Kuntz, the owner and brewer. Is he still the brewer there? I'm sure he's there brewing in some capacity, unless they have like a head brewer and he's just like designing stuff. But you complimented him on how they handled the whole thing over the last year, which privately amongst our little group here in Four Brewers, we've been keeping track of which breweries are doing the right thing and which ones aren't, and that's going to totally shape what we do in the future and where we go, because it was very important, for at least in our opinions, for breweries to follow those protocols. So now that we're on the other side of it, I'm looking forward to getting back to some breweries and stuff. I have yet to go anywhere. I think I'm going to start with something local like Ritual or something like that, before I venture out to Orange County and stuff like that. So anyway, like I said, on the show, we're drinking beers from Highland Park Brewery. This first beer is called Crossbow Pills. And
Crossbow Pills and Mash.
Do you get the reference behind this beer? The can art shows a dude doing like a flip. I don't know what that's called. A kick flip on a skateboard, mid flip. I guess Crossbow stands for the hop farm they're working with. There you go.
Yeah, it's Crosby Hops, I believe, is the name of the company.
This was a collab beer.
I think the Crossbow is just a play off of Timbo.
Oh, okay, because it's also a Pils and Timbo's a Pils. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. This is a 5.8% alcohol by volume Pilsner, made in collaboration with Crosby Hop Farms, and it's made with their Saphir, Strata, and Idaho 7 hops. Jason was saying on the documentation that he has, it doesn't say anything about Saphir, but on Untapped, it does say Saphir. So,
yeah, I have the emails where they announce the beer, and they just say Strata and Idaho 7. But
okay. More importantly, this is made with Idaho 7, which is all that matters.
it's the yin and yang of fucking hops right there. You've got Strata,
which is awesome. Yeah.
I'm up here rating it. It's way up here, and then you got Idaho 7,
which is the yang.
But in this case, they're very specifically talking about how they got these hops from a particular farmer, which means they may be getting, I'm like, not maybe, they're almost certainly getting their selection of crops and everything else, and maybe they're finding the Idaho 7 that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's they say they're friends with Crosby Hop Farms. I don't know where Crosby is located. I guess a quick
Portland.
Okay, yeah. That would make sense, right? That's beer country.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, I would think that if they're Jason's right. Idaho 7, I don't know what Bob thinks about Idaho 7 over at Highland Park, but we can't be the only ones that think it's a very, divisive hop, I guess. Divisive. Like, people either like it or they don't, and maybe there's some people in the middle. I don't know. I think a majority of the people just don't care, and they think it's fine.
Right.
But I think the hardcore
I think most people don't have a strong opinion about it.
Yeah. I don't know. So
so this smells nice. The aroma is not huge, but it's not an IPA. It's a Pilsner.
It doesn't smell like a wet shoe. It doesn't smell like funky earth. No, seriously, it's got like a lemon nose on it. A little bit of a like fruity, dank character. A little green on the nose. And again, this is super fresh. This is the actual fresh theme of the show, where this was canned on 6/4/2021. So
8 days ago.
8 days ago. Yep.
Yeah. I picked these up from the brewery yesterday. So
thanks, man.
And it is tasting fucking good. It's got a really interesting hop character. It's bright. It's got a little bit of I almost get some of that candy kind of flavor that you get out of Mosaic. I'm getting a little bit out of this.
Yeah.
And then I think the Idaho is just being used in a small amount to give it like, there is a bit of like an earthiness in there that
I get that on the nose the more I sit with it. Yeah, but it's not like that disgusting, like off-putting earth character.
I bet you it's just the ratio. It's just it's a flavor you use a little bit of. It's like putting vinegar in cooking, right? Like, you could put a little bit in and it'll add acid and give your food a bit of a bite, but you put a bunch in, it just smells like fucking vinegar.
Yeah, but some breweries are all in on Idaho 7, like doing like a smash beer with Idaho 7 hops, which I just don't understand. So I agree with you. When it's used in the proper proportions, it's a great hop, and I think this is a good example of that, because if you didn't tell me this had Idaho 7, I wouldn't notice anything like weird about it,
Yeah, super good. I have to try this back to back with Timbo one of these days. I'm not going to do that right now because we have another one, but it's a really nice variant of that beer. I love the hoppy Pilsner format. Like, people will be like, oh, so you just mean an IPA? And it's like, no, it's nice having a little bit of that, the hop character, the tropical brightness without, that big bite that you normally get out of an IPA in something lighter and easily drinkable.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting like IPL or IP. Did you hear that?
I heard you just stop mid-word.
Oh, sorry. I heard like what sounded like a trucker talking on a CB in my headphones. That was weird. I wonder if it's because the Bluetooth's on as well. Anyway, this kind of comes off like an IPL, or in this case, an IPP, like Imperial Pale Pilsner. It's not bitter or anything like that, but the hop presence is so big that it kind of gives me that vibe, which I dig. It's cool.
Yeah, super fucking good beer. And
yeah, this is great. I would definitely buy this again.
I could drink a liter of it.
4.26 on Untapped as well. And just for it being a Pilsner, not like an IPL kind of thing, that's fantastic. So well worth that rating.
Man, I saw people raging about Untapped ratings again recently, and I'm just like, fucking get over it.
Yeah.
It's like, I work at a brewery and I don't care about your Untapped rating. And it's like, I mean, all right, dude. Maybe don't take it so seriously.
I take their ratings more serious than anywhere else. I mean, if you want to look up the hype beers on Untapped and they get higher ratings just because they're hyped, that's one thing. But like, the everyday brewery kind of thing that puts out an IPA that has a 4 on Untapped that I've never heard of that brewery, I take that as a good rating for that beer.
Yeah, it's a good way to
5, but
yeah. And it averages out, right? People will be like, yeah, here's this guy, and he said, I don't like hops, and he rated my IPA 1 star. Yeah, but when you get 1,000 ratings, that like that's just some random outlier. It averages out, and you get a good sense of good and bad. Like, the breweries that have shit Untapped ratings aren't good breweries.
I would think that Untapped's doing some magic behind the scenes where, if people are doing that, where it's, you get a 1 because I don't like IPAs, 1 star, maybe they just don't count that, because that's not a fair rating, not that they're combing through all the ratings like that, but maybe that kind of thing does exist. I don't know.
Oh, I think the algorithm smooths out outliers too, right? Where like
that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah, the guy that gives everything 1 star, I think his rating doesn't mean as much.
Right. So up next from Highland Park, we're drinking Hello LA. This is a 6.8% ABV IPA, and it's made with Mosaic and Citra hops, which we've had this beer before. I've bought this personally myself at Highland Park, so fantastic beer. This was canned on 6/11/2021, so this was canned yesterday.
Yep.
This is literally fresh off the shelf.
It was released yesterday, and I drove my ass to LA to go pick it up because Hello LA is one of my favorite beers. Probably one of the best IPAs, I think, available on the market right now. And you know who else agrees with that is I was going to a concert one time, and I went to the in Pomona at the Fox Theater, and there's a cool craft beer bar there called the Rookery. Local 4B fans may remember we had our anniversary show there a few years ago.
They actually moved. Did you know that?
Yeah, they moved a couple doors down.
Yeah, it was weird when I went by where the old location was. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah.
But
anyway, carry on.
So who do I see but Adam D from Killswitch Engage in the bar? And I'm like, what are you drinking? He's like, Hello LA. I'm like, oh, that's a great beer. I love it. He's like, yeah, it's the best IPA I've had on this whole tour.
Sweet.
I'm like, fuck yeah. Killswitch Engage approved.
Highland Park is a gift to Southern California. And their beginnings, right? They were so humble. Like, just working, out of
the back of a bar.
Yeah, like with shitty equipment and just making some world-class beer. And every style too, right? Not just like IPA, but like anything that comes out of Highland Park is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's crazy the consistent level of high quality that they have. It's just it really goes to show that as much as beer has been commodified and it's automated and blueprinted, there's still a real art to being really good, and there's still truly talented people in this industry that are just making great stuff. Yeah,
I love the can art on this beer as well. It's very simple and colorful, which is, I dig it. Like a all white label with, pink, orange, red, green, blue, like every color. It kind of fits in theme with like Pride Month too. With all the colors on there.
You know what's cool is they added, since I've been there before, a mural of that art. I took a picture of it. I'm trying to find it right now.
Really?
Yeah. This is good. This is good radio.
Yeah, whatever. It's live. Fix it in post.
Where the fuck is the photo? My photo reel's like skipping weeks of photos for some fucking reason. All right.
Oh,
anyhow, whatever. But yeah, they added a Hello LA mural inside of the brewery. That's basically the colors of the label and everything there. So it's really cool.
Does it say Hello LA, or is it like just inspired by the labels? Kind of simple. So I guess a picture would help a lot. Oh, that looks awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally the multicolored Hello LA lettering.
Yeah, so instead of a white background, it's on brick. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's inside the brewery.
That looks dope. Yeah.
So what do you think of the beer?
Definitely a West Coast IPA. Like, you get a strong kind of danky, grassy, earthy nose on there. It smells fantastic. A little bit of a fruit vibe going on. Yeah, it smells fantastic. Great smelling West Coast IPA.
It feels like it hits a lot of the different, there's a little bit of fruitiness in there. There's a little bit of tropical, maybe not so much in that piney, grassy world, but it avoids being in that sticky category. Those beers can be good sometimes, but they also can be very taxing to drink, I think.
Yeah.
Where this is not. It's really refreshing and just super fucking drinkable. One of my absolute favorite beers. If you are anywhere in the area, chase it down.
Yeah. Kind of like IPAs from, 10, 12 years ago from, like Washington, where it's like they put a massive amount of hops in there. They're just so thick and like, sticky. And they're good for a couple sips. And then you're just like slogging through that beer, trying to work your way through it, and it's a pain. But this is easily drinkable. Like, it's so easy to just knock this down. It's great. And again, the alcohol in this 6.8, perfect. Could be a little less, but whatever.
And I think it's also a beer that you could give to somebody that is like, I don't really like IPAs. And it's not bitter at all. It is not super. I would not say it's a challenging beer.
I don't know about that because Yvonne hates IPAs and she just started drinking alcohol again. She's a wine person, mostly rosé and like white wines, light stuff. She still hates IPA. She doesn't want to smell it. She wants nothing to do with it. It's not really about the bitterness to her. It's more the weird aromas and flavors that she gets off of the beer. The stuff that we like is disgusting to her. So maybe for someone who is like open to exploring beer, I think you're right. But for someone who has already made, made their mind about IPA, it's, I don't think there's because this does come off like a West Coast IPA in all of the good ways that we like, where people that don't like IPA are still going to hate this beer, But I get what you're going for.
Yeah, I think it eliminates the challenging parts of IPA and really distills it down to just the great parts. And it's just a really great beer. Fucking A. We always talk about how great Highland Park is, and we will continue to do so.
Yeah, anything from Highland Park is a win. Like if you can, get their beer shipped to you, it's definitely a brewery worth trading for if you're still in that game. Like, this beer has a 4 on Untapped, and I think it's worth more than a 4. Like it's worthy of like.
But getting a 4 on Untapped, if you have any significant amount of check-ins, is really high.
Yeah,
like. There's some beers, that have 700 ratings, and they were all like, Wales Bro fucking beer hype guys, and they're like 5, 5, 5. But I think, just a top fucking quality beer.
If you enjoy IPA, this is a very, very nice, clean drinking, aromatic, flavorful IPA that you really can't go wrong with. Like it's a great barbecue IPA. If you're, grilling outdoors or something, you're at the beach, like it works in every scenario. It's very good. So thank you for picking up these beers, Jason. I appreciate you sharing them with me. And
thank you, sir.
Until next time, this has been Fresh Off the Shelf.
Mini-sode.
All right, you can stop recording.
We're doing it.
That was 36 minutes. That's kind of perfect. It's about 15 minutes each. What's this?
I got my chimney sweep coming back next week.
Coming back to finish, or?
Yeah, the final phase of my fireplace reno. Nice. It is mostly done right now. He set up all the gas logs and all that shit, and then and set up like put this like reflective glass on the bottom and all this cool stuff that makes it look really nice when it's on. So now I can just turn on a little valve and light the fireplace, but it doesn't have a screen right now. He had to like custom order the screen, so he'll be back to put that on and finish it.
Yeah, I have the same setup in my house, but we have only burned like the Duraflame logs. So those don't get too dirty either. So I don't think my chimney's that dirty.
Oh yeah, it was really more the actual fireplace itself. Like I've just, well, actually, I did clean the chimney just because it hadn't ever been cleaned, and we were kind of getting smells from it. But the
really. Like sooty kind of smoky smells? Yeah,
like every so often if you'd walk into the living room, in the morning, it would just kind of have a sootiness in the house. And what'll happen, especially if you have the chimney, the flue open, is that literally like if you have the air conditioner running or whatever, it's pulling air in through the chimney.
Yeah, pressure differences between hot and cold. Yeah.
So it pulls the air in, goes through your city chimney, and then your room smells like you just had a fire. But I'm like, but it weirded me out because I'm like, it smells like fire in here, but I haven't had a fire in 3 weeks. Is something burning?
Nope, it's just our city chimney.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about Duraflame logs. I actually have 4 Duraflame logs, and I don't know what to do with them. I'm like, well, I don't use these anymore.
Do something in the backyard, like you got a fire pit back there or something.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Use them as like starter logs or something. You know,
I don't have one, but I could.
you got to get one of those smokeless ones with the holes and all that kind of nifty stuff. What's this beer you gave me with the skull on it?
Oh, that's that brewery from up north. There does not exist.
Okay.
All of their art is like that. It's really cool. Like all their cans are black and white like that. This kind of stark, weird metal album cover vibe.
Okay. There does not exist. What's this beer?
It should say on the side. I think it's a hazy pale.
Let's see a name. Oh, Dawn Keeper. There we go. Solid 4, even on Untapped. Heavy doses of Mosaic and Galaxy. One minute it's white grape pear, rose water. The next minute it's finest hippie lettuce of South Mendocino. I guess hippie lettuce is weed.
That makes sense.
What's going on in our chat here?
The hippies are all gone now. It's just they're all just weird boomers now that are real into Trump.
Where have all the hippies gone?
Where is your boy tonight?
The banana car. Wow.
Yeah, man. Kyle chatting about the banana car. I haven't been to Hermosillo in forever. The big reason I would go out there still would be to go to Donut Friend, but I'm no longer supporting Donut Friend because they
Are they a COVID spot or harassing people?
No, their workers tried to unionize, and
that's what it was. Okay,
they're very actively trying to discourage them, and being real shitty about it, firing people that are trying to organize, and being just really not fucking chill.
More like Donut Fiend.
Exactly.
Right.
Fucking pretty weak for a place that charges $5 for a donut. You can pay your fucking people.
Yeah, I agree.
Shame on you, producer guy, I think that was involved in Jimmy Eat World or some shit.
Mark Trombino.
Yeah.
One of the owners. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Next week, we're doing an actual episode with beers from Working Draft Brewing Company by way of our friend Josh Ruffin, who is also a supporter on Patreon, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. He actually mailed us all separate beers. So we're all each getting 4 beers. And I think they're all arriving today. So.
Oh, yeah. I have that UPS notification.
Keep your eyes open, Jason. And to everyone else, enjoy your weekend. And we will see you next weekend.
Cheers.